Hi everyone, my name is Mahmoud Sheikh and welcome back to Unix shell programming tutorial series. In today's video, we'll discuss about one of the important concept of Unix shell programming, and that concept is looping construct. So before coming to today's topic, I just want to tell you guys that if you guys like this video or if you got some useful and valuable information from this video, then click on like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and if you guys have any questions, then let me know in the comment section. So as I have said that we will be discussing one of the looping construct, and that looping construct is for loop. Okay, so although we have various looping constructs in shell programming, and those constructs are for loop, while loop and until. Okay, so let us first understand why we should use these looping constructs, whether it is a for loop or while loop or until. So whenever there is a need in program that we need to execute certain statements again and again until a specific condition gets satisfied, then in that case we should go with any of these looping constructs, whether it is for loop, while loop. Okay, the same thing we are trying to see with the help of this example. In this example, we are trying to write a shell program which prints the number starting from 1 to 10, and in this example our limit is 10, and we are printing one by one each and every number starting from 1 to 10. Okay, that means the task of printing a numbers starting from 1, 2, then 3, then 4 and then 10 is performed in this case. Okay, so that's why we are using one of the looping construct here to write this program to get this output. Okay, so when this program gets executed, it will ask user to enter the limit, then user will be entering 10. That means how many times our loop needs to execute? Our loop needs to execute 10 times to print these numbers starting from 1 to 10. Okay, so now let us first see the syntax of for loop. So this is the syntax. It starts with the keyword for, then it has 4 parts. Okay, let me label these parts: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have labeled these parts from 1 to 4, and in this manner only, or in this sequence only, each and every of these parts of this for loop gets executed. Okay, so first initialization takes place. That means we need to set an initial value to a variable. That means from where our for loop needs to start, that we need to tell at the very beginning itself. So that part is called as initialization. Then how long this loop will going to execute. Okay, this loop needs to get terminated somewhere at particular point, right? So that we need to also mention in this condition. So the first part which gets executed is the initialization, and then control gets transferred to this second part where the condition gets checked. Okay, if this condition becomes true, then control will come inside this for loop to execute these statements. This is the third part which gets executed. Once these statements gets executed, then control gets transferred to this fourth part where the value of variable, let us say I, gets either incremented or decremented based on the type of program we are writing. Okay, so these are the 3 parts, and in this sequence each and every of these parts of this for loop gets executed. First initialization takes place, then condition gets checked. If this condition becomes true, then control will come inside the for loop to execute these statements, then last increment or decrement. Okay, so I will be using the same syntax to write this output or to get this output. Okay, so how we can do that? So you can see just by looking at this output is getting started from the first point, and that first point is 1. Okay, so this is what our initialization. So we need to create a variable, let us say I, and we need to assign a value that is 1, because we need to start from the 1. That's why that is 1 is our starting point. I, then how long I need to run this for loop until this value of I becomes less than or equal to 10. I value less than or equal to 10. Okay, so 10 times I want to execute this for loop, because I want to print 10 numbers. Then I plus plus. Then what I will do, I will print. What I will print? I will print this I echo $I. Okay, then here there will be a do and here there will be a done. Okay, so now let us check this for loop, how this for loop works. So as I have said, it starts with an initial value I equals to 1. When I value equals to 1, for the value of I equals to 1, this condition gets checked here. 1 is less than or equals to 10. Yes, condition becomes true. That's why when the condition becomes true, control will come inside this for loop to print the value of I. Now the value of I is 1. So 1 gets printed. Okay, next, as I have said, this is the third part which gets executed. Next, fourth part gets executed, increment. So when the control transfers to this I plus plus, then I value was 1. Since I plus plus gets executed, that's why I value will become 2 now. Now for the value of I equals to 2, again this initialization takes place. I equals to 2, yes. 2 is less than or equals to 10, yes, 2 is less than or equals to 10. That's why condition becomes true and control will come inside this for to print the value of I. Now the value of I is 2, so 2 gets printed. Okay, next the fourth part according to the syntax is again increment. So I value was 2. Now since this increment gets executed, so I value becomes 3. Now for the value of I equals to 3, condition again gets checked. 3 is less than or equals to 10. Yes, condition becomes true. That's why control will come inside this for loop to print the value of I. 3 gets printed. Like this, how long the value of I gets incremented? Until the value of I becomes less than or equals to 10. The moment when the value of I becomes 10, this condition gets checked. I value is now 10. So this becomes 10. 10 is less than or equals to 10. Yes. Now 10 is not less than 10, but 10 is equals to 10. That's why this condition becomes true and control will come inside this for to print the value of I. Now the value of I is 10 and 10 gets printed. Like this, with each and every iteration, the value of I gets incremented and that value gets printed out here. Okay, so in this example we have learned whenever there is a need in the program where you are performing a specific task again and again, and in this example what is that task which is getting performed again and again? Printing the values. Okay, incrementing the value and then printing that value. This task is getting performed again and again. So if this is the situation, then to address this situation, you can use any of the looping construct, whether it is a for loop, while loop or until. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood this concept. Now I will just use this code to write the shell program. So as we guys already know that every shell program starts with the shebang statement, hash exclamation forward slash usr bin bash. Then next I need to display this message, enter the limit. So to print that I will use read space hyphen p space double quote, enter the limit. Then I will create a variable n which will hold this value 10. Okay, next I will start this for loop. For space 2 brackets, then I is equals to 1 semicolon, I is less than or equals to 10. Okay, I will use n value here because n value is 10. N I plus plus, close the brackets, then do, and next we need to print this echo $I and done. Okay, so this is a very simple program. So the purpose of doing this program just to make you understand what is a for loop and how for loop works and what are those situations where you can use for loop or any of the looping construct. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood this program. Okay, so that's all for this video, guys. If you guys like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and if you guys have any questions, then let me know in the comment section. And thanks for watching.